It takes a village to raise a baby, and it takes a village to say goodbye. And that's what hospice was. It was a village of people. It was a privilege. The fact that my dad was able to go to hospice and pass away under those conditions, I don't take that lightly. That was a privilege, and that was something that I will never forget. I will never forget. And I'll never forget the people and the love they showed us. Hi, I'm Mishka Tuck, and I had the privilege of having my father admitted into Moncton Hospice in the summer of 2022. And when I received the phone call that there was a bed for my father, I remember immediately feeling such a sense of relief, and I felt that help was on the way. And it was a game changer for our entire family, for my dad especially. We just had hit a point in his illness that we were over our heads. And so I knew we needed help. And hospice was the answer for our family. Going to hospice on that morning, my father was excited, and he was so pleased because he knew that this is what he needed. We knew it, but he knew it, which was so important. And my dad was a big foodie. He loved eating, he loved hot coffee. And when we got my dad settled into his room, the first thing they did was bring him a mug of hot coffee. And I could just see his face light up because it felt to him like he was home. And that meant the world to us. And they touched our lives in ways that I could never explain to anybody until you're there. They not only held our hands through this process, but they held our hearts. And they knew what we needed before we knew what we needed. And for that, I will be eternally grateful. Dad, we managed his pain. That was the key part for us, was to make sure that Dad was no longer in pain, and they did that effectively. And so for the first few weeks that my dad was there, I really think he thought he was a Club Med, because he would talk about the incredible food, the wonderful staff. And he would say, anything I need, Mishka, they're there for me. And so for my dad, it was just a positive, wonderful experience. And I cannot tell you what that means to a family who knows that their dad is getting ready to die, or any family member. And you know that the inevitable is coming. You know that their time is getting shorter as the days go by. But to let my father die with such dignity and respect, that meant more to me than anything. The love and respect that they showed my father is something that I will never forget. I will never forget that. And that's all we can ever ask for any family member, is that they die with love, dignity, respect, and that's what Dad received there. I couldn't imagine what we would have done without hospice. I just couldn't imagine. It's always sad when we lose a loved one, but to lose them in this way it changes everything. I could never say enough good things about hospice. From the time I brought my dad in to the night that we took him out, they were so loving, and they were just so caring about how they took him, his meals and his hot coffee. They'd make sure his coffee was extra hot the way he liked it. And those little details were never missed by me. I paid attention to the way they dealt, and not just with my dad, but with the people in the building. These people are plugged in, and they truly care. These are not just bodies, people in a bed. They treat them like they're their own family. That is something you would never get in any other situation. And I cannot imagine Moncton not having Albert House available. I just pray that when it's my time or my husband's time, that we have a facility like that to make that transition for our families so much easier. It just is, it's beyond what I could even say. These people are angels in disguise. I'll never forget that. I'll never forget, the worst days of my life were made easier by these people. And for that, they will always hold such a place in my heart. So I just would encourage people to make a donation, to get involved. If you don't understand hospice, then you need to look into it, you need to read on it, you need to know what they offer. They gave our family so much that I just feel I need to give just a little something back. It is a facility that we should be so proud of, not just for my family, but for every family in Moncton. This is an incredible facility. And I just think that everyone should know about it, everyone should support it, and everyone should just be so thankful that we have that at our disposal when we need it.